Uh, well, uh, basically his strategy is do everything around his wrestling, right? And of course, he's been doing that for so long that becomes natural, and doesn't matter. Like people say, wrestlers can decide where the fight happens, right? So I don't care. He wants to get knocked out, keep it standing. He want to be submitted, take me down. That's it.
Yeah, and I haven't watched his fights. I know he's a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's been doing it for a while, so obviously he's got to have a pretty good skill set. But for me, I mean, we'll see. I'm not going in there with. I'm going to take whatever's kind of there. But I'm going to put it on him. I'm going to keep the pace high, keep him uncomfortable, dictate where the fight goes, that type of stuff. But I'm not looking for anything. I take whatever's there.
Depends what he wants to do, man. If he wants to stand up and bang, I can finish it on my feet. If he wants to turn into a wrestling match, man, I wrestle every day. I'll sprawl and brawl all day. Depends on him.
Well, I have a lot of respect for Ash. I know he's a stand-up fighter, and I love stand-up fighters. I love people that are just highly looked at. They look at him and say, I'm scared of this guy, or so. I think that a matchup for myself, this is my favorite kind of match. So it's going to be a solid war. It's going to be a great matchup for people to watch, and I think that people enjoy watching stand-up fights. And I think it's just going to be a really solid fight. That's what I think.
And in a certain way, beating him, like everything that I want to accomplish, depends on beating this guy right now, right? So he's on my way. It's not personal, but if I'm gonna get what I want, I'll have to beat him, and that's it.
Well, first of all, obviously I respect him for he's been doing this for a while. But at the same time, it's my opinion that he's never faced anyone of my caliber athlete in a cage before. I don't think he's trained with my caliber athlete before, to be quite honest. That's my opinion. He may have a different opinion. That's why we fight and that's why we compete. I have a lot of things that cross over from what I've already accomplished in my life in terms of attitude, mindset, that type of stuff. And I believe I've got a great group of guys around him. My skill set is where it needs to be to win this fight. And we'll find out in a few weeks here.
We kind of know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to try and punch him in the face, and he's going to try and take me down. Especially with his wrestling pedigree, you can guarantee that that's part of his game plan.
You guys will see. And he's in a lot of trouble. And you're going to need the 4 horsemen from the apocalypse to beat me. So good luck to him. I like him. He's a nice guy. I had a little chat with him. Nothing against him, but this is my fight.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any really good wrestlers with any pedigree to brag about, but I do have Nabil, who's a 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. The guy's a genius, and he knows exactly what I need.
No, because for what he has in reach, I have power, and I'm one of the strongest 135ers in this world, in this planet, and that's the truth. I'm not going to be modest and pretend I'm not. I am.
Well, he hasn't really gone in any later rounds, so if we end up in the later rounds, I feel I'll have the advantage there. But one, he's fought people that are already intimidated by him before they fight him. And I'm not intimidated by anybody, hence the reason I've taken all the fights I have.
I think it'll be a good fight. Nick and Bradley are both pretty good fighters in general. I think Bradley's more aggressive, and I think that Nick will be a little more than surprised with Brad's newly developed ground game.
Oh, I'm itching. So many back-to-back camps that didn't culminate in being able to get that release. So I've just got a lot of pent-up energy and a lot of undocumented work too. So I know that he thinks he knows what I'm going to do, but he's got no idea.
Yeah, definitely. I've won in Battlefield. I've lost in Battlefield. I've had the lights and the camera on me. It's just another fight for me. There's no real pressure. He's the one coming in, having to make his debut. So
you know what? They're both scrappy game kids. He obviously has his own his own moves. You know, they're not the same person, but very similar body types, and I've shown that I can take advantage of that. And I know he thinks I'm going to take him down right away, but you know, my left is documented that breaks bones.
He can talk about his left all day, but I got 3 stand-up titles, so I don't think he's going to stand with me. Everyone else says they're going to stand with me, and as soon as I hit them, they go for a shot.
I'm a true competitor. I win at anything I enter, boxing, kickboxing, whatever it is, and maybe we can do that after this fight too. We find out.
Well, in Morganti Jiu-Jitsu, we practice both grappling and striking, so I believe we'll have the advantage in both aspects.
Oh, that's a classic fight. The wrestler versus the black belt, you know. Depends who comes, you know, who comes more prepared and who comes with a better game plan. I think it's going to be a fight of the night. It's going to be great.
I'm concerned about myself. I know I'm where I need to be in terms of my cardio and my shape. More importantly, you're gonna get tired. That's what happens when you compete. It's how you react when you're tired. And I've been there over 1,000 times in my life now. I know how to deal with that. I know how to push through. It doesn't matter what kind of fight you get into. You know that's what wrestlers have, no matter what. So I know how to do that, and I'm ready for that. I'm excited for that, and we'll see if he's able to do that as well.
Absolutely. I was there watching his amateur fight, and you know, after the fight, he was saying that the canvas was slippery. You know, so I'm not sure how comfortable he was inside that cage. You know, I've been there a lot, and I feel at home when I'm there. So yeah, I'll definitely have that's definitely an advantage for me.
If you don't believe in yourself enough to fight anybody and everybody, you're in the wrong business. You know what I mean?
Well, it's going to be a similar fight. It's going to be a stand-up fight. Same kind of fight. Probably not. You know, Ash is, I believe, stronger than Dobie. So I'm going to have to watch his power. So it's going to be an interesting fight. It's going to be it's not going to be the same, but it's going to be a stand-up fight.
I've won. Everyone's been ducking me all summer. I've been sitting on my ass, training hard. No one will fight me. So, you know what? We're going to put this belt on the line and see who's going to step up. You know, no disrespect to Yannick. You know, I know this is going to be a tough fight for me to fight him at 165, but no one's going to stop me. No one's going to get in my way, and I'm going to be the champion.
It's a bit of a mistake trying to think that I'm going to do what I've done in my past fights, because there's just so much undocumented work because of having these fights fall out and the number of camps that I put in. My bag of tricks has grown significantly. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm going to become some world-class kickboxer, but some very exciting stuff is going to happen off the level change.
From all the fights I've seen, he takes people down and tries to choke them. His last couple fights, I did see that he tried to throw a little more stand-up, different like variety of stuff, but I don't think his striking matches up with mine. I'm a pretty decent kickboxer. I do a lot of wrestling and a lot of jiu-jitsu, but I don't think his the only way he's going to win is if he can smother me for 3 rounds.
Well, a little bit different. One fight I seen, he just took the guy down right away and hammer fisted him out. And then obviously against Craig, he dropped Craig pretty hardcore. And then as Craig got up, he took him right back down and hammer fisted him out again. So he's really explosive, and obviously he's going to be really strong. But with me, I've cut open like 4 of my 5 opponents that have already fought. So my hands do things that people don't expect in a time they don't expect.
I've probably only seen the fight with him and Oliver, and I got pretty bored and stopped watching it. So, like, you know, I'm an animal when I go in there. You know, it's hard to compare me right now again. And I'm trying to get out of here. I'm trying to go to pro. You know, that's what I want to do.
I saw Yannick fight Dan. Dan kind of, you know, picked him apart there, but at the same time, you know, I've lost 3 fights in a row. And I know, you know, one day it just clicks and you just become a different fighter and you come back. And Yannick's tough and he'll fight anybody, so he's only going to get better. So I don't really take that fight into consideration. But at the same time, I'm going to do my thing and have fun. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, he's 3-3, so he's close to my record, and I always took fights that had double my record or even more than that. So it's not like it's something that's the record doesn't really show the fighter. I think that the fighter is, from within, right? So
The only difference is I completely believe in myself, and I make this look good. I'm going to be the first Persian pro MMA champion, and no matter who they put in front of me, no one can match my fight and my heart and my desire as a Persian fighter. You know what I mean?
I think for sure his plans to surprise me, right? Of course, we all expect him to use his wrestling, and maybe he's planning on surprising everybody and coming out striking. So you never know, right? I'm pretty sure he's working hard, and so am I. So I'll be ready.
No, I mean, I'm looking at this from the bigger picture. We got goals to get to, and this is just kind of one of the hurdles we got to overcome to get to those goals. I'm looking at it from that point of view, and it's a good test to see where my skill set's at. I'm not worried so much about him. I just want to see where I'm at, and every time I step out there, I want to get a little bit better. I mean, I'm a lot better in terms of in training, but I want to show more every time once I get out there. So I'm excited for that.